This video is brought to you by Sasoi. Sasoi, the innovators of spikeboarding, stand-up spike, and the creators of the original skateboard spike. Sasoi, become the motor.
Hi folks, and welcome to another Sasoi spikeboarding video. And today we are going to begin at the very beginning, because what you're looking at is the very end of spikeboard development with a well-balanced and symmetrical Cubi-X-Cross that is an incredible new kinetic movement that will power you up hills like crazy. You are connecting finally and once and for all upper body Nordic movement with lower body skateboard kick. And then of course full body endurance fitness makes sense on a board. So to develop your Cubi-X-Cross, you are going to begin as slow as you can go, exactly where we began as well. Standing totally still, getting into a carve position, and going into a setup position on one leg on an upside down board or board on grass. This is how you need to literally begin spikeboarding if you don't know how to ride a board. You need to balance on one leg, you need to be able to kick back and remain balanced on that one leg and glide. Kick back and be balanced on one leg. And then you want to learn to begin to switch immediately. Here we're showing the break. There we're in the carve position. Here we're in the carve position on the other side, and you want to begin to learn all of this at once, both sides. Get up on one leg, kick back, up on one leg, kick back, lean back, put the heel down, and practice your stops. Totally standing still. And we're going to begin to progress from 0 speed into a half a mile an hour speed, into 1 mile an hour speed, into 2 mile an hour speed, and gradually and so on and so forth. And we're going to break down how you begin to set up your leg to brake as well as to glide. You've been watching it here from the side and from the front and keeping it symmetrical. So begin replicating these movements either with the board upside down or on grass. We're also going to begin to describe the differences between the front leg and the back leg. But ultimately, you're going to kick and stand from all 4 positions of the board. As you can see, we're practicing heel to toe switch stance. We're doing it very, very slowly. And there you saw a small switch with a simple walk over to the middle of the board. And we're balancing on the one leg and bringing the other leg around and just practicing our switch stance nice and slow. Up on one leg, bring the leg back. Take the leg back, imitate a kick, keep your balance, begin to swing your legs. Stay up on one leg, swinging the leg. Notice how the shoulder on the opposite side of the kick leg is dropping. You must drop your shoulder. There's a center line. For you to balance your weight correctly, you need to balance the weight by dropping the shoulder. Every time we switch, we will need to drop the shoulder. If your leg is going back quickly, it's that your shoulder isn't dropped enough. So if your back leg wants to come back really quickly, drop that shoulder and get more of a glide once you begin to get a little speed. But again, you should be able to do this standing totally still. The front leg and the rear leg return to the board in 2 very different ways. The rear leg simply comes over. The front leg needs to kick, 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 come over, and down. Because the leg just can't come flying in. It'll knock into the knee. Needs to kick, kick, up and over and down. Up, over, and down. kick with the rear leg, kick with the rear leg, and it just slides right back in. The front one needs to kick, 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 and up, over, and down. Remember, keep your shoulder dropped. Balance between that center line. We have a scooter here, and with the scooter, we will hold on. And there, we will kick and switch and kick and switch and kick and switch and drop our shoulders, and we will not hold on to the bars very tightly. We will place all of our weight on the quadricep and act as if we're on a board. So from standing still, you are going to get a scooter, little adult scooter. You can get them anywhere between $60 and $120. You can find them all over the place. You'll be able to sell it or give it away once you're done with it. All you need to do is drop your shoulder and stay on the scooter and not press on the bars. You're going to switch. The heel is going to pivot out. The toes are going to come in. And you're just going to get along a little path and do miles and miles of this and begin to open up a neurological pathway of acceptance for the coerced ambidexterity that you're looking for. And obviously here we're just going to putter across the screen, and so will you, beginning at this speed and increasing. So you will get up to maybe 10, 12, maybe even 13 miles an hour, and you will cadence kick on a 5 count or a 3 count or a 7 count, but keep it completely even. The idea is to begin to open a neurological pathway so that your mind begins to accept the coerced ambidexterity of the non-dominant leg. So trust us when we tell you this can happen. So let's take a little look at how you actually switch kick on a scooter. Imagine there's a pin in your heel. You rotate it out. You bring the toes in. Out with the heel. Point the toes in. Drop the foot in. It's as simple as that. Out with the heel. Bingo. Keep all your weight on your quadricep. Put all the weight on the quadricep. Don't lean on the bars. Imagine that you're on a board when you're doing this. This is just a temporary situation. We're just going to show how you switch while you're riding. The heel pivots, the new foot comes in, and you switch. Most important, keep it completely even. 5 and 5, 6 and 6, 7 and 7. Normally we warm up with 3s, then go to 5, and then go to 10. Maybe you'll begin to get 15s. And again, you don't necessarily have to have a scooter. We're going to show you some very slow, how slow can you go drills that you might be able to skip it completely. You might want to try it. At this point, we are going to flip the board over, and you're going to want to find a slight incline, and we could have edited out the backwards here, but we're going to leave it because you might actually be able to achieve these skill sets as well going backwards. But don't try it, just keep going in a straight line. What we're doing here is we are walking and skating at the same time. And you're going to begin at this speed. You'll have all your safety equipment on, and you'll find a path, not that many people on it, and then you're going to switch. And you're going to take your foot to the back, and you're going to walk and put 80% of the weight on your walking leg, 20% on your support leg. If you can go backwards like this, heck, go ahead and do it, but don't necessarily try it. We're just not going to edit it out. There's too much of it. After you've walked and kicked, you're going to begin to glide and kick. Notice how the shoulder is dropping, and you're going to want to do it on both sides evenly. So if you have to stop to switch, stop to switch. But notice how here, second time around, we're gliding. We're dropping the shoulder, we're getting a little glide. Slowly you want to begin to build that up and let the glide last longer and longer and longer until you can just stand on one leg comfortably so that you'll be able to bring that leg over and down. Notice how now we're gliding just a little bit and bringing the feet over and down gently and slowly. And of course, this third drill that we showed you, you probably don't even want to start it until you did the first two for quite a while. Right now we're switching heel to toe, and then we drifted the board back. Now we're just shifting our heel to toe on and off one leg, and if you can do it on a slight slow rise, just like this, over and over and over again, it requires a little more balance than you might have. If you can begin to stand on one leg and bring it back for your rear leg as well as your front leg, this is going to help a lot. If you can swing it a little bit, again, a little bit of an incline works, and you'll be facing slightly uphill. You want to try to concentrate on using the entire length of the board. Aim your rear heel to the rear drop. So try not to creep forward. So cover those exercises on your own. And again, that was the beginning right here. You're going to walk and kick with a tiny little glide. And you're going to do this for miles and miles, or however much distance you cover. But try to put in maybe 15 minutes on the first day, every other day, then build yourself up with 5-10% a week. Use the same principles of build up as you would in running or cycling. Try not to do too much. If you're under 21, you'll have less of a problem. If you are over age 30, you are now a master athlete. Welcome to Master Athletics, and you will need to adapt slowly and over time, and you will be able to do everything you want to do. Just give yourself some time and let yourself adapt. Here we have added the push glide, and also the switch stance is happening. Notice how the feet constantly stay heel to toe, toes forward, heel back, and when the front foot comes over, it's up and back over, and the back foot just kicks right in. And that's why we need to switch from all four positions, because even though you're switching, you aren't completely symmetrical until you can kick both legs from the back of the board and both legs as supporting from the front of the board. Rear leg just comes back. Front leg has to exit the kicking stroke up and over and land it. You want to try to avoid landing on the drop. In the beginning, you'll land on the drop, your foot won't be flat, and that's perfectly fine. Try more and more to aim the foot and land it off the drop. The more you do this, the better you're going to get, and the more you'll be able to actually not have to look down. You want to also practice how to turn the board. This is the way you turn a spike board. You're on the board, you stop, and then you turn it. Turn it around. You never want to have to touch the board with your hands. The only way you ever pick it up is from the front truck. So that's the way you turn the board. Don't pick it up with your hands. Don't move it. Don't pick it up. The bottom gets really, really dirty, and the top is going to scuff your clothes. You don't want to do that. You don't want to pick it up by the fender. There's one way to pick up the board. Very simply. You're just going to come to a stop and pick up the truck from the front, the one truck that stays clean, and you're going to be able to walk the board by your side. And if you're on a busy sidewalk, just keep the board behind you. Keep it behind you, and it won't get in the way. Once you get to your deli or your market or wherever it is you're going, please make sure to just flip the board over to the side and don't stack it on its end. It can just fall over, fall on someone's foot. Thanks so much for watching and tuning into this video. Please go back and review these exercises and do them on a path or a playground like the one you've seen. Please wear your wrist guards and all your safety equipment, and always wear your helmet, and advance slowly, and don't go for it because you might not make it. And you're in a sport where we want you to make it over and over and over again till you've got perfect stroke and you are ready to become the motor on a daily basis and use spikeboarding for fitness as well as local transportation. Because in the end, becoming the motor is what's going to make your body happy and make the planet proud.
This video is brought to you by Sasoi. Sasoi, the innovators of spikeboarding, stand-up spike, and the creators of the original skateboard spike. Sosoi, become the motor.